Hi.
Emily,
Hey, Emily, you have some fans here.
long time no see.
Emily, you haven't been at Mixed Nuts for a while. What's going on with you? Do you want to tell them anything? Don't tell them about my lap, okay? Did you... Well, hi, everybody. It looks like it's that time. Saturday morning in Sedona Standard Time. Other afternoon in Europe and Russia and midnight in Asia. So thanks for everybody who's joining us from your respective time zones. And it's getting close to Christmas. We're going to take a couple days off next week. On Monday, we're going to be off for Christmas Day. So no Shuangtsang's Tower on Monday. And New Year's Day will also be off on the 1st, January 1st, Arizona time. So just take note. And we have an exciting team class again today. We're going to do Master Sugeng's text, and he's going to lead us through a discussion. And I assume you've got your homework ready for us, Mr. Sugeng.
Yes, I'm ready.
Cool. I hope everybody's had a chance to check out the new Diamond Cutter Classics website. If you haven't yet, give it a look-see at diamondcutterclassics.org. And I don't know, anything else we need to tell them up front, Ben?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well,
we can talk. Maybe we can talk later again about the book club. We always do. Maybe, right? And
sure.
Yeah, it's great to have everybody. Thanks.
Yes, thank you to all of our interpreters for doing the impossible, and thank you to the Worldview Tech team, Marina, Francisco, Alejaso, and all of you who are helping us to produce and archive these events. All right, Mr. Sugeng, take it away when you're ready, and we will chime in with sincere and sarcastic commentary. So, Mixed Nuts,
Yeah.
you ready?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a team translation. Although I was talking to Tim just now, Tim Lowenhub. So Tim, we are going to do team translation, but without Tim.
I just got so confused.
Yeah. So yeah, we are in Malaysia now. We are running an ACI course 14.
Okay.
Together with James Conian team. Yeah.
Are you in Malaysia?
And I'm in Malaysia now, so I hope my network connection is smooth all the way because we are in the mountain with pretty weak internet. Or rather, they don't provide internet. I have to use my hotspot, my mobile's hotspot.
Well, thank you for being prepared, Sugeng, with your hotspot.
Yeah, they said that, hey, you want to do meditation? Yes. You say you want to do meditation, so there shouldn't be any internet. I say, okay. Logical. Okay, let's start with the homework.
Daddy.
Yes, Emily. You want to answer my homework question?
No.
No. Everybody can see my screen?
Yes, it's perfect. Thank you.
All right. So when Lord Buddha made different categories of consciousness based on the sense powers, what was the real intention? Why did he do so? Why did he have so many different categories? I am wondering if anybody remembers this from almost 6 weeks ago.
All right. It was to emphasize, it was...
I want to try.
Oh, that their collections.
Let me try first.
Oh.
I guess it is a kind of logic that we put things one by one and discuss it one after one.
Oh, good try. It's like a logic, huh? Thank you for trying. I know it's night, it's 11 at your place too. Who else wants to try? Who else wants to guess?
Is it related to the Bodhisattva Bhumi?
No, I don't know. We never talk about it. We never talk about that. Yeah. All right.
It's something
I
to do with each of them is a collection of parts.
No. Yeah, we talked about that, but that is not the reason for the different groups. Yeah. Capacity of the audience. Yeah, Laura, pretty close. And I would say, no, yeah, pretty close, but the reason given by Master Vasubandhu is kind of interesting. So let's take a look. What did he say? I need to do this. Locations. I don't know why Master Vasubandhu said location. It depends on the audience in different locations. Or of course, depending on whom you are teaching. So yeah, Laura is pretty close, right? Capacity of the audience. So Lord Buddha sometimes said that there were 6 and sometimes 8, depending on locations. He told the mind only that there were 8 and 6 to the other people. And it is not the nature of consciousness to be either 6 or 8. And of course, Master Vasubandhu added that there were some students that he didn't teach anything, meaning that there is not even on this consciousness at all. So it's interesting, and I think we are kind of lucky we got to know both.
What did you mean by location? I think Upala was asking too. Do you mean location like?
No. I'm just saying he did say location, but I'm saying might it be because of this location in terms of philosophical capacity of who's in the room?
Makes sense. Uh-oh. Don't question his homework or you'll jam up his internet signal.
You might want to turn off your video, Master Sugeng.
Yep, he's frozen. Whoa. Oh, well. So you're saying, Utpala, that Master Vasubandhu said location?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Like Nepa or something?
Oh, let's see.
Oh, no, don't worry. We'll just...
Dad, I'm tired.
Sorry.
Nay location.
Nay, yeah. Oh, that is interesting. I wonder what he... Now I'm struggling to remember this particular passage, but it's interesting, right? Because it's not like people in Kashmir were mind only while people in, somewhere else were middle way. I mean, maybe, but that doesn't seem to be well documented.
Yeah.
I wonder what we mean by to some he taught nothing also. Does he mean when to the first turning that we taught 6 and to the third turning that we taught 8, and did he teach nothing to the second turning, or is he referring to something else?
Yeah. I was kind of thinking that too.
Yeah, I'm back.
Well, to some
Sorry.
people, maybe he just taught, morality or something, and he didn't talk about
Types of consciousness.
exactly.
Right. That makes sense too. Okay, Sugeng.
Yeah, sorry. My network just gave way. I came back.
More powerful networks.
Now, give way to the force of nature. Okay, so why do you say collections of consciousnesses when you are talking about the 6 and not for the 8? Why do we say collection of consciousness? So apparently it seems
So
that
true. Yeah.
this
Jessica want to try to answer
Please.
this question.
Do it.
term is ask questions or answering questions.
Give it a try, Jessica.
Yes, as I remember it, it said in each consciousness is a collection,
Yes.
like not only single consciousness, but each consciousness is a collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was emphasizing that it was built of moments, right?
That sounds right. Yeah, and Utpala said that. I'm still stumped though why he would not say that for the 8 if he would say that for the 6.
Right.
Daddy.
Yeah, I
But
think
he's asking why they didn't use it for the 8, right?
yeah, that was my question, but let me look at my answer.
It was in words text. I remember that.
Hmm.
Can you scroll so we can see the rest of the answer? Good, sir.
Sorry, it's indicating the divisions according to the object of the consciousness. The object. And even if it were done by the objects, they would get too many. So instead of saying the consciousness of the blue, the consciousness of the red, etc., we can just say the consciousness of the eye. Every perception is a collection of stuffs. Each consciousness involves the collection of parts. And we are not trying to use the word collection for anything other than the consciousness. This is what I got from the text, but apparently it seems to be missing the reason why it is only for 6 rather than for the 8.
I think it's because there's no external object in the mind, only.
Yeah, I think that's logical too.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah,
I like it.
yeah, I like that too. Thank you. It is said that that consciousness occurs relative to the two, outgoing, which is common cause, and ingoing, which is uncommon or unique cause. What are they? Anybody remember?
Wow.
Let's see. The I is the common cause of perceptions of blue and so on.
This is
The sense power would be the common cause of the perception of a visual object.
what is the uncommon one you're saying just now?
Yeah, I'm not seeing in my notes where I have uncommon.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or-
there's the going out and the coming in?
Yes. Yes. Come on, some more.
So this
Close.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Please.
I want to try.
Yes, please.
Common cost, which is the share cost outgoing. Example, blue color. Everyone see the thing is blue color. That is common cost. Whereas unique cost is ingoing. Example is my feeling on the blue color is different with the feeling of another person.
Okay, pretty close. Pretty close. Yeah. So what we discuss in the book is for the common cause, the eye sense power is the shared perception of those things, colors, blue, etc., going out. As for the unique cause, internally it triggers a unique single consciousness. Yeah, we haven't touched on the feeling yet, but yeah, this is just like internal trigger. Thank you. Now the Tibetan words. STW. What is Tun Mong?
Oh, wow.
And you remember? I know all these are what do you
Common.
call that?
Maybe
Sure.
one of Word students knows this one, or one of the.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I don't have new words. All these are common words, so I hope people remember what it
Oh, that was a
means.
good. He just gave you guys a hint too. Common word. He's just giving you guys a hint.
Did I?
That was good,
Did
Sugeng. You didn't even mean
I-
to. Super.
I'm just trying to be helpful. You know, we are talking about Lojong in ACA 14, so I have to practice what I'm preaching.
Good for you.
Common words.
I don't have new words. All these are common words. So what does Tun Mong mean?
Would you say that these words are shared both with the mixed nuts and people who barely know Tibetan?
Yeah, in a general, common. You are right. Yeah. Okay, next one. Manyam. Manyam.
Hasso?
Manyam. Yeah. You know, we are learning all these amazing texts, especially when I'm here doing ACI 14. I've been telling people that all these are we can trace all these back to the Lord Himself, you know. So I hope that can help you a bit on the Manyam.
Unique,
So say, yeah, please.
unique.
Unique? No, not unique. All the teachings that we have, which is being compiled into, or rather, which have been compiled into ACI.
In a setup, basically. In the chat.
Unspoiled, yes. In English, we call them unbroken, not corrupted.
Nice.
Yeah. And finally, the most common term, or rather, term that we use in the wheel, kecheduk.
Nice.
This is one of the link in the wheel. Yes. Wow, Ina, you aced.
I'm gonna give this lady $6.
6? Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe 60 is more what do you call that? It's more appropriate, right?
Probably.
That's right,
In a
because
sense,
each of the 6 is also a collection.
Right.
yeah.
600.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So this is the homework.
Thank you.
Let me move on to the other one. Okay, let me stop share. And then I move to the other one. Okay, the nature of my text is interesting, meaning that Geshe Michael put a lot of notes. So I try to match the Tibetan to the notes, and they are pretty, well, I mean, without his notes, it's impossible for me to decipher, but with the notes, I think I sort of can get his meaning. So I need the seniors to help me verify that they are consistent.
You do indeed have difficult text.
Gong pa thade pe chirte, wang po tang jing nye pe, nam pa shepa duk kewa, nye pa rap tu ten pe, chir, ni la ten ne nam pa shepa she sung so.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Sugeng, would you be willing to help us a little bit, just to set the scene where we're at? What came just before this? We baby translators might need this even more than usual today.
Okay, let me briefly go through.
It has been 6 weeks.
I know. I had difficulty too. I had difficulty too. So
Thank you.
so let me go through the appropriate junction so that we can review it together.
It was something about someone coming along and saying there's a sutra that talks about this, right?
That is, yeah, that is, yes. And also there is a topic about in the will, the fresh karma triggers the consciousness, but in reality, the senses are the ones that trigger the consciousness. So which one is correct? So this is the point. So let me see here. This is the thing. This is the point where, let me go back to this point where when Master Vasubandhu, being a mind-only people, being a mind-onlyer, he was saying that if you only learn the 6 collections of consciousness, you are learning the literal, the surface, the preliminary understanding. But if you want to go deeper into the topic, you have to understand that Buddha has something deeper implied, meaning I think he's hinting us, pointing us to the eight consciousness, 7th and the 8th. Yeah. And then, yeah, so this is where the location things come in. So when Lord Buddha made different categories of consciousness based on the sense power, he told the students, depending on the audience in different locations. Yeah, there's a note here depending on whom you are teaching. It is not the nature of consciousness to be either 6 or 8. So I have a footnote here. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So the location here refers to the people he's teaching. And then, of course, there were some students that he didn't teach anything. So why do you say collections of consciousness when you are talking about the 8, the 6, and not for the 8? So I think we talked about it just now. The collection is used to indicate the divisions according to the object. And it is done by collections, but not by the objects. Otherwise, they would get too many. So yeah, and then I put this italics to indicate the other person. Yeah, to indicate the other person. Yeah, slow down. Okay, I'll slow down. If it was the case that you name each consciousness from sense organ that it relies upon, then why do you say collections of 6? Each perception is the collection of stuffs. Each consciousness involves the collection of parts. So we know this already, right? So in that case, you should not call it collection of 6 consciousnesses. And why don't you call them the collections of eye consciousness, the collections of ear consciousness, up to the collection of mind? And we discussed in the homework questions that, and then the master said that I already told you why we are using the word collection. And there are 2 opinions: collection of 6 consciousness, and each of the individual consciousnesses collects many parts. So this is basically a collection of parts.
It's a collection of many parts, I guess, is what you want to say.
Maybe this is obvious, but why would you say the I consciousness is a collection of parts? What are the parts of the I consciousness?
So the parts here refers to the objects of the I consciousness.
Okay, so for example, each of the objects I see in my room, we could say I have an I consciousness for each of them in a sense, and these would be the parts of the greater collection of I consciousness, something like this?
That is my understanding.
Okay. Thank
That's
you.
my understanding so far. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for summarizing it. Yeah. So here and then the master continues to say that I'm not trying to use the word collection for anything other than the consciousness. Yeah. Okay. And so I put this as italic again. If you don't want to call each consciousness as a collection of parts, why do you want to name the 6 consciousnesses by the sense power that they depend upon or use to see the outside world? Consciousness of visible things will make more sense than calling it consciousness of the eye. So this is argument from the other person, right? And we say we prefer to call it the consciousness of the eye because it depends on the eye to see the outside object. Yeah. We call the consciousness by the sense power in each case up to the mind's consciousness rather than what they focus on. So this is our conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah. And then,
Right.
yeah. This is where we talk about. No, okay, let's just read. If
Tracy had a question in the chat, Sugeng, if you don't mind me clarifying, because I was confused about this in the homework also.
Okay.
And I think Utpala actually clarified it for me in the homework. Tracy was saying, well, why wouldn't we say there's a collection for the 7th, meaning or the 7th or the 8th? If we talk about the 6 as being collections, why wouldn't we put that emphasis on the 7th or 8th? And I guess it's not that we're saying that the 7th and 8th aren't a collection so much as we're saying that in the mind-only school presentation of 8 consciousnesses, they wouldn't emphasize the first 6 as being collections because the mind-only school doesn't believe that outside objects really exist. And so does that make sense to you? Is that why you would say the mind-only school wouldn't talk so much about the 8 consciousnesses as collections as they would in terms of the 6?
Yeah, I kind of like Utpala's answer about the mind only doesn't sort of recognize objects outside. And since we are working mostly on the foundation consciousness and the mess up consciousness in mind only, and they are mostly in the mind, therefore I would say that even that both 7 and 8 are not collections.
Right. And even 1 through 6 in the mind-only school, it would almost be strange to talk about those as collections because 1 through 6 are in effect also an expression of the foundation consciousness itself. It's 1 through 6 is not dependent on a variety of external objects because the mind-only school doesn't accept a variety of true external objects. It's all mostly your mind doing its thing through the mode of seeds in the foundation consciousness.
Totally agree. Totally
Thank
agree.
you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying this point. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. And the other person come to tell us again, if something is consciousness, insofar as it distinguishes between things like visible forms, hearable forms, smellable forms, etc., then why don't you call it consciousness of visible forms up to the consciousness of things in general? So this is referring to consciousness number 6, right? And we are saying we are using the sense power to name the consciousness because they are the principal trigger of the consciousness in both the common connotation and the uncommon connotation. It is because there is just one set of eyes as compared to the objects. So we went through this already. And of course, for the common cause, the eye sense powers, the shared perception of blue, etc. going out. And then for the unique cause, internally it triggers a unique single consciousness. So this is my question number 3 in homework. And we will apply this on up to the awareness of the thoughts. Okay, I hope.
And we're talking about triggers here, Sugeng, still in this question about what triggers consciousness. Traditionally, we would say consciousness is triggered by the eye because you see something, you see an object in your world, you see the color blue, for example, and then that hits your eye, and your eye sends a message to consciousness, and that triggers a moment of consciousness. But in the wheel of life, the trigger is fresh karma. So we somehow are trying to, I guess the crux of this moment in the text is we're trying to settle this discrepancy between what maybe all the world would normally say, or even what the lower schools would normally say, which is, well, consciousness is triggered by you saw something.
Yeah.
As opposed to consciousness is triggered by a fresh seed, a deed.
Yeah, that is the questions that was left hanging 6 weeks ago.
Cool.
But before that, there is another point that the master will insert here. So let's go through, right? So these are the 2 common cause and uncommon cause, the outgoing and the ingoing. So when we say that there is a correlation between the sense power and these objects, we can say that it's good to review, right? I'm missing lots of words here. We can say that there is a correlation between the eye and physical forms on up to the mind and the thoughts. Okay, and however, mentioned in some places that name and form can trigger awareness. Furthermore, all the hips that involve awareness depends on the body and mind as a unit. Okay, this gets even more crazy. Right? And then in another quotation from the ancient scripture about how consciousness is triggered, how does it fit into our discussion so far? So this is what Ben just summarized to us. But now and then we come into this. The master actually dig deeper, right? And then this other guy quoted Arya Sariputra. Let's say that the inner sense power has not been damaged, manyam, and let's say that an outer form appears to that eyeball. The scripture says that when there is, in addition, an associated act of attention, then you will have an awareness of the outer form. A sense consciousness will be triggered. And of course, he's continued to say that it's the same up to the mind consciousness. And he continued to say the other texts talk about attention. Here in the Dependent Sutra, the second link of fresh karma is the trigger of the third link of consciousness. Are these 2 not contradictory? Is it not rather the case that attention triggers consciousness, which is pretty commonly understood outside? And we stop here.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, here we go then.
So, Kong pa tadepe chirte, Kong pa tadepe tadepa. So how should I put this? They are separate. They are different. Yeah, they are different, right?
Yeah, I guess the intent is the same. Word, Nick. Utpala, you guys gotta help us here. But I guess tadepa, right, would mean different. So, what the gongpa, the implication here is that they are different or they're not different. What do you think?
Gompa Tadepachi.
Are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
In order to establish that the true intent was that they're different,
Okay.
or just in order something, maybe not establish.
The
Yeah, maybe
wangpo
because they are.
and its object, the wangbo and the dungepa, the thing it sees.
Ascertainment of the object.
Great.
Yeah, the wangpo and the object ascertained by the consciousness.
Consciousness. The six consciousnesses.
Yes. They what Gepa they give rise to the six awarenesses, the Nampar Shepa.
Yeah. But that's ascertain. That's ascertain again. They definitively demonstrate. They show.
Yeah, I wonder if it's playing with the word ngepa here a little bit.
I think so. They certainly ascertain.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we got to get to the end here.
For example, a cup that we see have wideness and roundness, like that.
I didn't catch it. I'm sorry.
She's saying a cup that we see as whiteness and roundness, like
yeah.
Yeah.
So through that or by those two reasons, right? We would say what? Those are both causes for the number Shepa, for the awareness. Is that what you take this to be saying? So it is said, in dependence upon these two reasons.
But it doesn't say reasons.
Well, just because we have cheer and cheer, I don't know. These two things meaning what? The
power and the object depend upon each other. That's what it's saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
The sense power and the object?
Yeah, the sense power and the ascertainment of that object are independent upon each other.
Independent.
Independence.
Oh, independence. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Geshe Michael gave us a note here for himself, I'm sure, but perhaps for us all to try to help us. That these ideas here are separate, but that the point is to understand when we establish the sense power and the object, the eye and the thing it's seeing, we are showing how the six consciousnesses arise. And so consciousness depends on the two, not just the objects outside, but also the eye.
Hey, we weren't too far off.
Calling earlier the common and uncommon, the common and uncommon, or the incoming and outgoing. Okay.
Are those two? Are we the two referring to those two?
Well, were the eye and the outer object Were those the common and uncommon?
Yeah, I would think so, right? So
Okay.
And is that the same as the incoming and the outgoing?
We were just talking about the two things being contradictory. Apparently, our
yeah,
opponent. What is triggering an active consciousness? Is it an object or is it attention?
that was
Those are the two
question before
we're
this,
talking
right?
about.
Okay. So consciousness depends on both the object seen and the sense power that sees it. And then I think we're going to linger on this point for a little bit, Sugeng. So I think we're okay to go on a little.
Yeah, because apparently there is a summary below.
Yes.
Mhm.
De tabuidun de dak ni sik su chet de sung pa. So so basically this is the verse, and it's kind of interesting. Nga pon ni wang pon nam kang ki dun ni te dak ni kang te ni tun te ni tuk pe ke che ni yin no. So if I were to copy the notes from Geshe-la, the 5 follows the 2. So he put a notes here of powers and objects.
Mhm.
5 means those related to the sense organ and are related to those powers objects. And then there is something that takes those as an object, and that is the sense door of the 6. So a total of 2. So
God.
and
Wow, this is
there's a
confusing.
note here. In general, it's caused by Duce Kile. This is where the first comma came in, right?
Yeah, second link.
Yeah, the second link. And that is a sense of the 6. 5 follows the 2.
Oh, wow.
Powers and objects.
Just
Powers and
five.
objects. And are related.
Okay. Okay, so there are 5 sense consciousnesses, and each of those 5 consciousnesses takes an outer object, and then that those inner objects then are taken. Then there's a state of mind that takes on those objects that can think about
Mhm.
the consciousness of those. There's an outer object, there's the eye that sees the outer object, and then there's an awareness of what the eye has seen. And the 6th consciousness, as was asked in the chat, thinks about the awarenesses of those other 5 objects.
Yeah. Well, it seems to be saying that the 6th one thinks about the awarenesses as well as the objects. Is that what you just said?
No, but I'll take it.
It seems to be saying that it thinks about everything.
Okay. That makes sense, right? That the 6th consciousness may think about the color blue, may think about my coffee cup, but also only the 6th consciousness can think about my thought of a coffee cup.
It seems like it's going everywhere except there, right? Like the 6th consciousness thinks of your eye and the coffee cup, and maybe he's going somewhere where he's going to talk about how it connects the eye to the coffee cup. But it seems like it's saying it thinks about that you see something, and it thinks about the thing that you see, and that you smell something, and the thing that you smell, blah blah. And it doesn't. Hold on. Total of 2.
Let's disciple again. Ngaponini wang ponam. Ngaponini. How would you say this? How would you translate this? Wang ponam. Wang ponam refers to the powers.
Sense power. Mm-hmm.
Sense powers.
Yes.
But
Well,
ngaponini.
it refers to the powers and their object, I believe. The five mean the 5 twos. You see, ngapo ni, I think, means the coffee cup and the eye seeing the coffee cup. It means the song and the ear hearing the song. It means the rose and the nose smelling the rose. You see, I think these are the 5.
So
Yeah, that makes sense for the construction here, ngapo ni ni. And I was confused about why Geshe Michael said the 5 follow the 2.
yeah.
It's almost like he put the knee on the other side of the knee. Like he put the word 2 differently than the Tibetan seems to be saying, which is, I mean, he knows something that we don't know about what's coming.
I think so. Yeah, I suspect that too. But yeah, so if you just reading this alone, how would you make the sentence? Ngaponini wang ponam. The 5, the 2
2
sets
5.
of 5, the 2 5, right? The 2 5,
two-
that is representing 2.
The 2 5s, powers.
The 2 5 are powers. Yeah.
Kind of, but yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
2
Exactly.
5 are powers. Okay. Let's
Remember
just,
what Geshe Michael said, by the way, everybody, that if you don't understand it, it's doing something very powerful to your mind. So thank you for joining us in this Mixed Nuts class.
the 2
Yeah.
The
5s
harder
are
it is, the more you need to hear it.
and
Tell all your
then,
friends to join now.
yeah, thank you. Thank you for the encouragement, words of encouragement. Kanki
thank you, Nick.
dedakni. Kanki tuni dedakni. How would you translate this? The meaning of
Like
There are-
whatever the object.
uh, how would you translate kanki tun?
It seems to be very contextual. There's no way to just translate this sentence on its own.
Gosh. And then
So it's a futile exercise.
Well,
Yeah, whatever object these themselves.
I think the gang is like, is whichever sense power relates to any of those objects.
Mhm.
You see, Ni is sort of like there is one for each of these. They're just the same.
That sounds right.
Meaning that each of these objects has a sense power that relates to it.
Hmm.
And I by the way, it goes ngapo ni ni, and then wangpo nam kangi dun ni.
Right.
It's not if it's one line. The line doesn't stop at the nam. So
Right.
it's the 2
That's
sets
how
of
Geshe
5.
Michael broke it.
Yeah, 2 sets of 5s. The powers, and then whichever object relates to each one of those powers. Ni,
Yes.
those are them, and then
Yeah. 2. As for the 2 sets of 5, Wang Ponam and Kangi Dun. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Wang Ponam and kanki dun.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is the next gang de ni dun de ni. Then there is what takes that as its object.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, the first 2 lines are saying in general, and then the third line is saying specifically.
Mm.
Yeah, whichever power, whichever object, and then pertaining only to those each that relate directly to a power and its object, like as it ascertains, as it takes something.
Isn't it saying the object of those or that, yeah, or
That first gong is the Wangpo, and then the second is the Dun. Kong De Ni. Those Wangpos exclusively, Dun De Ne, take an exclusive object.
mm,
Yeah. And
then there was something. Yeah. I mean, I think I see what you're
And
saying.
then the sixth, there is a 2 for the sixth as well. Drukpa Kyeche, the sixth
because-
consciousness,
Mhm. And there's a
right?
So
What are
total of
the object and the power for the sixth consciousness?
the consciousness, the consciousness and and thoughts, right? Meaning they don't have an outer
Right.
object. The sixth one
Right.
doesn't have an. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Can we summarize?
Yeah.
The whole discussion? I'm lost.
Mm.
It's just saying how each each power has its own object,
Okay.
Mhm.
right? And there's 2 sets of 5, and
Mm.
each power has its own specific object.
Mhm.
But as per the 6 of them, they not only take that it not only has its own object, but it takes as its object consciousness in general, which
No,
is all 6.
consciousness takes them as its object, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And that's Geshe Michael's note here, right? There are 10 things, right? 10 things
Right.
just got mentioned in the first 2 lines. There are 5 objects and 5 sense powers. And then in the third line, there is something that takes that as its object, meaning those 10
Mhm.
as an object.
And that's probably why it's making this distinction of saying these each have their own specific objects. And then this one, like rather than having its own specific object, just takes all this stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of them, both the Duns
Yeah,
and the
both. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it phrases it as 2. Yeah. Those 2.
Mhm. Those
Because-
2 meaning the 5 and
The
the
2
5.
sets of 5. Yeah.
Hard.
Well, we
Okay.
kind of did a thing. It's actually confusing the way it's for us. It was kind of confusing the way it's split up here.
Yeah.
For all of you watching, 200 people, we did a thing just now.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody.
Let's see. We've got 8 minutes. Let's use them.
Okay. Let's use them.
Everybody try to think of ways to apply this to your life as
boy.
we will discuss.
Ila Chepani, Rik mi yewar tamcheki chi ken yinte. Okay. Ila Chepani. So Ila Chepa is what? Attention?
Isn't that the ability to direct the mind
Direct the
or
mind.
attention? Attention makes sense.
Rik mi yewar tam Rik mi yewar. It's not divided, right? Tamcheki chi ken yinte because it's the general condition for all situations.
So there's some division that we don't make if I'm understanding is this for the 6th consciousness essentially?
Yeah, it seems like it. Because he was just talking about there's not like physical objects for that. Yila Chepani. But he wouldn't be referring to the 6th consciousness as Yila Chepa, I don't think. Does that ever happen, Sugeng?
No, I've never heard of that before.
Okay.
Is chi, and also, and Word, you might have to chime in on this. I think it was in your text. Chi-ken is a specific thing, right? It's not just saying like general condition, and a chi-ken is one of the types of causes.
It's not one of the 4 conditions.
Okay. Okay, so it does mean just general condition,
I guess so.
or we'll see. I guess.
Okay. Can I move on?
It's for attention. Provisionally.
Provisional.
Yeah.
I think it's
Well,
saying
Let's.
Oh,
as per directing of the mind, speaking of that specific mental function, it does not divide between classes. It does not it's a general condition by which all things are looked at.
mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Why are we talking about it now?
yeah. I'm wondering if
know the-
Ila Chip
I don't
is
know why
referring
we
to.
jumped to it. No, I don't know why we jumped to it, but I don't know why we jumped to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Ila Chip
let's-
seems to be referring to something specific that maybe he didn't clarify yet.
Well, let's see if the next line helps. This is the paratrooper thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's send our troops in behind enemy lines and see if we can conquer this line by going over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Wang Po Dang Dun Yit Tu Sin Kyang De Ken Di Tak Pain La Chepa Mepe Chir Nam Par Sepa Keo Sheten Pe Che Tu Yila Chepe Ken Kyang Sung So.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is
Okay. So Wang Po Dan Dun, right? The sense power and its object.
Mm-hmm.
To sin, like if it wasn't there, or even if it wasn't there, perhaps if it wasn't there.
No,
Where you get yeah.
as per
As
its
long as it's there.
as per its apprehension, Judson, if you're apprehending, if there is a process of apprehension between the sense power and the object, Wang Po Dang Dun Yu Judson.
Isn't it more like even while you're apprehending it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
It says Zin, now it's going to go further into it with the Kyang.
Oh, okay.
Read on.
Thank you.
Let's see. Well, then what wouldn't be created? It would not bring something about, right?
It would not, it would not arise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Without that examination.
I feel like that should be Ila Chepa. Is that a mistake?
That would make more sense.
That
Yeah.
would sure make sense, word.
Yeah. And I cracked the last sentence too. I think I was right. I didn't read Geshe Michael's note. It is what I said. It's saying the process of directing the mind does not require any specificity. It's a general, it can do it in general. It doesn't matter. And now he's going to specifics on it.
Sugeng, would you make this mark in your text where it says Yin La Chepa?
I think he did it already.
Oh, you did. Oh,
for the
did you? Oh, good. Oh, great. Okay, good.
Let me put double question mark to be clearer that it's it's not from Geshe.
Oh,
I don't think he ever uses any question marks on that.
He doesn't use question marks in a really.
Okay.
So to be clear, yeah.
Okay. So just put question mark, right? To.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Although there are some coming up. Huh. Sorry.
Question mark.
Not in these contexts. Word you were going to say?
Yeah. So yeah, this is what he's saying. He's saying that apprehension that occurs, that perception that occurs between the sense object and the power, Kyang also is as that arises, it is not something that's necessary to be examined by the direction of the mind. Takpa yila jepa me pechir.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's an arisal of the consciousness. Nampar shepa keo she. That's what it's saying.
Yeah,
Uh,
change. That's what it's, and then it's just reinforcing. That's what it's when it's talking about the condition of directing the mind.
Yeah, therefore, tenpe
Mhm.
chedu,
Mhm.
in terms of its presentation, in terms as it
Yeah.
shows itself, ila jepe ken kyang sung, the directing of a mind is a supporting condition
Yeah.
as well, and that it's just reinforcing the last statement. And
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, team.
Okay. Okay. So,
And
we're
I think
talking
we're at
about
time.
Yila Chepa here to clarify, just because
Mhm.
while there is a connection between the arising of a consciousness and an outer object, you have to sort of direct your mind towards it. A thing can occur in the outer world if we accepted an outer world. There could be an outer object, at least in the lower schools, even if the mind only school doesn't accept that. And there's a sense power seeing that thing, but there has to be some directing of the mind towards that object in order for it to be a trigger for an awareness, a consciousness of that object. Is that the idea?
Yeah, and then it's saying that the text is, it's kind of clarifying that the text is actually saying that there doesn't need to be a directing of the mind, and that it just arises.
oh, yeah.
That seems to be the clarification here. By
no, I think direction of the mind is not required for the object to be apprehended in the first place. Wangpo tang tun yut zin.
I guess I'm reading Geshe Michael's note here differently.
Even if the sense power on the objects are present.
Which is that it is
Oh yeah,
it
that's
is
interesting.
necessary.
Yeah, it will not occur without the exploration of the turning of
Yeah.
attention, which is yeah. Oh, that is different than what we.
And so it seems to be important to mention the
Mhm.
attention turning the mind towards an object. However, it's not a thing that has further divisions. We had in the previous line that we were unclear about. We're not going to divide between different types of turning your attention towards the object, because it's sort of the same activity for everything. However,
Right.
it is a necessary trigger in order for consciousness to arise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
If you don't direct your
Yeah.
attention towards it, you won't see
Mhm.
anything. There won't be any.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that is. But there's only one negative particle in there, so it's confusing.
Mm.
I think the kyang is a even. So
Yeah,
it's
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Right. Sugeng, is there any hope here for applying this to our lives in any way?
And Sugeng and anyone in the world here, we lost. I think we've lost the ability to make relapse now. This might mess us up for all texts. No,
No way.
I'm joking.
Everyone,
I'm joking.
we always find a way.
Yeah. So what did we learn today? But and we have not really come to the solutions, the answer. Why the will is asserting that fresh karma is the trigger for consciousness.
Well, we didn't get to that, but what we
We
did
have not,
discuss
right?
today, no,
Yeah.
but what we did discuss today was the ways, which might be interesting fodder for further discussion and to make us think about how this affects us today. Maybe has something to do with how the mind, the sense consciousnesses and consciousness in general are connected to their objects in order to arise. And that might be something interesting, you know, to think about how, like, is there perception without blue? Or, you know, is there any hearing without a beautiful song to hear it? If a tree falls in the forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Somebody's Katerina's got something. Oh. Forget it. That's not a
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's from Unique.
I like this tension that we're struggling through at this point in the text between what is the trigger for different states of mind. Is it something outside of us or something inside of us? This is the great struggle, the great tension between the different philosophies in ancient India. How much of the world is because of what's coming at us and how much of the world is because of what's coming from us? And of course, this is what this text is struggling to identify here. Is it the outer world that's triggering my frustrated thoughts? Is that the trigger? Or is it karma? Is it deeds? Is it the way I react to the things that I'm seeing? And it seems natural for us to get obsessed with the outside world, to blame the outside world, of course, but it seems that this is the crux of the distinction between the lower school and this higher school, right? Even if it's not necessarily the highest school, but as we move from this presentation of 6 consciousnesses to this presentation of 8 consciousnesses, we're loosening this focus on the outer world and trying to bring closer attention to our inner world, the way that one emotion leads to another emotion, our reaction to an emotion leads to the next emotion. And that we may be fooled into thinking these are forces happening outside of us. But the higher schools, the subtle part of the teaching says that it's not something outside of us, but some force inside of us.
Is it, and this is the independent branch of the middle way school, correct?
it seems like it's kind of like mind only leaning toward independent, as what I
So
was
in
just
an
thinking.
independent school, we talk about there has to be there's something coming, there is some identity of an object. There's a piece of it that's coming towards you, and then there's a piece of that identity coming from you, and it takes those two to tango.
Mm-hmm.
So an external object triggering, it can't trigger unless there is the karma for you to be triggered that way, right? To see the object that way.
Right.
Yeah,
In
and
this...
if you see Gibson's comment in the chat box, it's kind of interesting.
We'll need to
He's
see the
drawing our
movie.
attention to the movie. Yeah, of the so in the movie, basically, Eddie Murphy's mind has crews that will report to him based on the sense powers, whatever the sense powers is detecting. Yeah.
That sounds cool. I have to check that out. Anybody in the audience would like to chime in with some ideas or thoughts about application?
Tracy.
Was that Tracy?
Oh yeah.
So we have to safeguard our mind.
Oh, sorry, is somebody else talking?
No,
Sorry.
no, I think that was some translation leaking or something.
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
I really like the whole five senses. And then when they talked about the 10, it's like zooming out the lens. And then it's like the sixth sense. And for me, I look at it as the development of our Ajna chakra and continuing to study these emptiness teachings and really, stripping away the layers to understand these deep, deep layers of consciousness will help to develop that. And I think once that's developed, that's the most important thing about seeing, because it's going to be seeing the objects and the powers of the objects in the right way. So I think that for me, I looked at it as it was like this secret piece that gets developed, that the more we meditate and the more we study this stuff, this gets developed. And when that gets developed, it's like a portal, this magical door that opens up, and then we just see things in the right way. And with that ability, it gives us a layer of awareness to not plant negative karma seeds in how we're constantly doing that in the turning of the wheel. So for me, that was the piece that I got. If we could really just activate this piece and hopefully understand these teachings and see things better, we won't be planting bad karma in the fresh karma wheel. I don't know.
nice.
Does that make sense?
Trace, yeah. You're more than the rest of us, your pineal gland decalcified during this last hour.
Yay.
Nice work. Thank you. Was somebody else I didn't understand. It sounded like a different language, but was somebody else answering?
Piling?
Oh, what I learned from the class is, before I come to Miss Nut class, I didn't always aware that thing is not coming from me. But after I attend Miss Nut's class, for few months, I start to develop, thing is coming from me. And then when negative emotion arise, I would like to say something that if you are able, then you put aside your emotion and go to help others. At least this one can help us to shift our attention, so we won't start a day.
That's great. That's amazing. I'm also waiting for that experience. That's awesome.
Look, anyone around you that need help, you go to help people. Otherwise, you just lying on the bed and continue for a few days like that.
Thank you for sharing, Pei.
But if you cannot do that, then we can do other way around. We try to stop the negative emotion, like doing something that pleasure us, like relax your mood. Then this also useful. Because what I learned from the mind only school is, negative emotion will create bad karma. So we have to stop it. Whether in the way go to find a person to help, or you go to do something to relax your mood. Stop the emotion first. This is my sharing today.
Are you studying ACI 14 with the crew in Malaysia right now? You're not? Okay.
Oh.
That sounded very Lojong as well. Stop that negative emotion as soon as it comes. But that's great though. Thank you so much for sharing.
Do we have time for one more?
Okay.
I'm enjoying studying the parts of the sense consciousnesses so that I can see the absurdity of thinking for an instant that they have any nature of their own. It brings up the absurdity of me reacting painfully or negatively in response to any of those components.
Yeah, that's helpful. That's a very helpful note to finish this off on, actually. I wished for all of us to see that absurdity today as we go through our day or week. That's awesome. Sugeng, if it's okay with you, I'd like to just share the QR codes and mention the book club now. Do you have any final parting sentiments?
I just want people to see what beautiful arrangement they are doing in Diamond Mountain. And yeah, Nick, please take over.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, nice.
Beautiful. Thank you, Diamond Mountain, Venerable Cat and Rocio. Is that Rocio? Yeah.
Hi guys, that looks really
Beautiful.
nice. Amazing. Butter lamps, beautiful.
Okay, Nick, please take over.
Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to show you guys these QR codes, and I'm going to mention to you this wonderful program that we've started, which is please subscribe to the Mixed Nuts, subscribe to the Diamond Cutter Classics Translation Program by subscribing to the Good Night Book Club, or as some are calling it now, the Good Night Club, where if you can sign up depending on your region of the world via one of these QR codes. You can see the names of your regions here. And, depending on how much you subscribe with, you will receive our books or excerpts from our books. Or if you just give $1 a month, you'll get a nice picture of Geshe Michael sent to you in the mail. So, but honestly, anything, if you can donate, anything helps. I mean, not donate, but if you can subscribe to our project, anything helps. And it's going to keep this project going far into the future so that we can make sense of books like Sugeng's book, translated into understandable English and make this information useful and available to the world. So please subscribe, even if it's some small amount. So it helps keep our organization going. So that's my pitch for that. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to me or Ben, and or your regional coordinator, especially. They will be able to direct you and give you the answers for anything you might need to know. So now we have a session with Peachtree World News. Thank you very much. And then we have class with Word. Is it Word?
Yes.
Okay. I'll always double check with you just to make sure, because it is Christmas. People have stuff going on. On that note, happy holidays to you all. If you are into that kind of thing, Merry Christmas. And we'll see you again. Hold on, actually, let me check the schedule just to make sure we get this right. Ben, do you have it pulled up? Oh, here we go. We will have class on Saturday, December 30th at this time, and that will be Adam. And then we'll see you again in the new year. So one more class after this in 2023. Hopefully with Geshe Michael. I believe so, yes. Take it away, Garcia or Juan Hasso, whoever it is.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you for talking about the reading book, the Good Night Reading Club. It is something that we also want to keep encouraging people to do. And maybe soon we can work together and see how we can let everyone know what to do, how to do it, keep encouraging. It sounds very exciting. So for today, we want to also remind you of a few events that are about to happen in Diamond Mountain, by the way, which is this retreat that YSI is organizing. I want to share with you just a brief material so you know what I'm talking about. You probably know, but let me show you what we have.
Oh.
Aaron and some other people from YSI are about to start. I'm sharing my screen. This amazing retreat where they're going to be practicing the Hatha Yoga Pratipika Kriyas. I'm sharing screen. Okay, there you go. Check this out. It's just like 40 seconds.
This is Luipa, one of the great yogis of
hear?
the Hatha Yoga lineage. And we'll be doing a retreat this December, the 27th of December to January 2nd at Diamond Mountain on the practices, his lineage from the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. I'll be leading it with Lisa Shrimp, a dear friend of mine, and we'll both be leading the yoga asanas, pranayama, meditation, and some of the Shat Karma practices, the cleansing practices found in that amazing text. We'll be also diving into a little bit of Ayurveda and looking at ways that we can exit 2023 gracefully and enter 2024 with intentionality.
Okay, so now you know, if you still don't have any plans for this new year, that's a great thing to consider doing. And then if anything, I'm just gonna leave here the QR code of the event if you feel really, really excited and interested. Maybe, yeah, you can see. Amazing. There is a QR code over there. It's happening in a few more days, December 27th to January the 2nd. I bet it's going to be very, very cool. And we may talk to them after the retreat to see how did it go. And also, just to remind you, there is a lot of time ahead still for this other one, but the Hatha Yoga Pradipika level 3 is going to happen in Sedona, starting on January 18th to the 19th. So it may be a cool time for you to be around if you can. Just leaving you the QR code, you can consider that. It's happening, in about 3 weeks from now, something like that. So it's gonna be cool, coming very soon. Okay, and today we have a very special guest with us, our friend Arina. She has been working with a very cool project. It's John Brady's Patreon project, where he has been teaching and sharing a lot of content lately. She's gonna be talking with us about how it's going, what new content is coming up. Are you there, Arina? Could you take? Yes, great. Thank you, probably Marina. Thank you for spotting light, Arina. How are you, Arina?
Hi, hon. I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Excited for Christmas and New Year.
You look all bright and shiny and tan.
Yeah, probably that's the beach. I've been having the chance to be surfing a little bit in the beautiful beach in Mexico, San Pancho. Geshe Michael used to do some retreats in San Pancho, and many of the people here may have come to these towns. So here I am, but not for much longer. I have to go back to the city, and maybe soon I will be going to Arizona, very soon. So can you tell us a little bit of what's going on with the Patreon project? What's new?
Well, we have lots and lots of great, exciting content from JB. We've been filming. So the way it works, really, and I'll tell people who probably not familiar with what it is, it's a platform. And weekly I upload content from John Brady, which we filmed specifically for this project, mainly. And so every week you have a short video up to 20 minutes on various of topics. Now, mostly we've been talking about financial freedom. We uploaded the whole financial freedom course, which is, I think, 7-8 classes with meditations and very deep dives into karmic correlations and all the good stuff. And now we're moving forward. We just finished the financial freedom course, and we're moving forward to meditation and deeper meditation practices. And JB actually just sent me yesterday a video from Asia, and we just uploaded the Mahamudra, our preliminary to Mahamudra. And if I can, I'd love to show you what it looks like.
Yes, actually, I was about to ask you if you could share your screen and show us a little bit. So yeah, I think, yes, great.
So this is what the inside of the community looks like. It's a separate website or an app. And every week you just get sent this videos. This is the latest, actually was just uploaded a few minutes ago. This is the Mahamudra preparation. It's just, I mean, you all know JB, so you know how deep he can take you with just his little comments and very calming energy and voice. And just a beautiful way to connect with him through these little videos, as well as through a live stream that we host every month. So if you have a question or you just want to hang out and connect, then it's a very beautiful space to be in. And just, ask your questions. And it's a pretty small group. We have like about, I don't know, 40 members. So it's a small group, and you get to all hang out and sit and ask your questions. And it goes very deep. And it's like, I'm very happy with the way, with the community that we built, because everyone is very open, and it's a way to learn things that you probably won't be able to learn just through listening to formal teachings. That's what it is to me. And to me, John is an amazing example of, how to of discipline and also very deep insights. So I honestly highly recommend for everyone to join it. We have very affordable packages, and all proceeds support ALL, which is probably the most important part. So everything, all proceeds support ALL, and you get to support the source of wisdom, where this wisdom comes from, literally like the books. And you support the, basically it goes to salaries to those people who are inputting the books and finding the books. And this is where Diamond Cutter Classics gets the book from. So to me, it's a very beautiful project, and I'm very honored to be a part of it and create this community of very intelligent people, and just really the people that I would like to hang out with. So I would love to invite you all.
Here in the screen, you can see the QR code for those who want to get to the, registration page, to the access to the project. And I really like what I saw on the screen you shared with us, Arina. Thank you very much. It looks really cool. And congratulations to you as well, because you have designed the project and you have come up with the marketing idea. So thank you for your work is helping and supporting this whole system, machinery of saving the world. So thank you.
So much fun. It's an honor.
Yes. Thank you very much. So we will have you again some other time. In the meantime, Arina, Merry Christmas and very Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
And to all of you, just before we leave and keep going with work to the Tibetan class, we want to invite you as well. We are planning a very cool event. We are planning a New Year's party celebration show in Peachtree World News. I'm sharing the screen with you again, where we are gonna be talking about all the success that has happened in the many different organizations belonging to the World View Network. So here you're gonna get to hear so many things and successes that happened in 2003, and also what's coming up for 2004. This is gonna be happening December 31st, 7 a.m. Arizona time. That's gonna hit exactly the New Year change in Asia. So sign up, you can use the QR code, you just use it, sign up, be there, be ready. And we really think you're gonna have a lot of fun. And I'm having a lot of fun with the dogs as well here. My apologies, but that'll be it for now. Thank you very much. Thank you all the team of Diamond Cutter Classics to do these classes, even when Geshe-la is going for a very well-deserved vacation and needed. Thank you for stepping up and keep doing it. Thank you all the tech team, all the people who help us, volunteers. It has been an amazing first year of Peachtree World News, and let's see what the future is bringing to us. Thank you. Back to you, Ben or Nick or Ward. Happy New Year.
Thank you so much for being here today, everybody. Word, we're going to hand it over to you. Thank you, Juan, for putting this together. Thank you, live translators. Thank you, all guests. Stay tuned for Dr. Wordsmith. Thank you, Word.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Juan. Thanks, Arena. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, everybody. Here we go. We are about to finish reading the Diamond